So I've just created a consignment off a template. What I'll do is just add in the details that are unique to the consignment. So I've added in the date. What I do also is just then go and edit the details of the consignment. So for the purposes of this demo, I'll just be moving 19 head of cattle. They've all got ear tags and there's no room in devices. Okay. And then the last thing that I need to do is just hit the declaration. All right. And then it's ready to submit. So once that's submitted, you can see that we have this new banner here, which gives you the opportunity to add the devices. So all you need to do is to select this button here. And we give you two ways of providing that information. One is to upload the file. So if you've got a session that you've read out of a device reader that represents that consignment, or you keep the IDs in another area within your systems or in your book, you can either upload the file or you have the opportunity to manually enter them. For this demo, we'll just add a file. It's as simple as just choosing that file from a place within your computer, load it up, and then hit next step. And what this does is just does a quick check against NLIS to give us a status back. So as you can see here, I've loaded up the devices and all the devices are okay. But we don't always live in a perfect world. So what I'll do is I'll just also demonstrate what happens if you loaded devices and there are some warnings and errors that come up. So I'll just select a different file this time. And then just go through the same step. And as you can see here, we've got a couple of bits of information that we're playing back to you. So we can see that we've loaded 22 devices. One of them's got an error and a couple have got a warning. So this is just a representation of some of the checks that we do against NLIS. Here is one. This is obviously a bad read or an incorrect ID. So as you can see, it's just calling out that it's an invalid ID and we don't recognize it within NLIS. So if we can have the opportunity to either edit that if it's a bad read or delete it. For this instance, we'll just delete that. The next one, this area is showing you that the device that you've added onto the consignment is actually not on your pick. So this may be the animal's moved on, you forgot to do the transfer. So we just call that out and we think this is useful to make known so that it saves a bit of time and effort when these animals go onto the receiver, and that we want to make sure that that all the movements are correctly put into NLIS. So again, for this one, if it's just been added incorrectly, we can delete it, or obviously you can transfer it onto your property and then do the load again, and it'll come up as a green tick. So we'll just delete this one. And then the final one is if you're operating in cross species or you've got multiple species on your farm and you've added in in the read, there's a sheep that's been scanned. This is the cattle consignment. We can also just call out that you've added the wrong species as well. Again, making sure that the information is as correct as possible before you push it onto the receiver. So for this, we'll just get rid of that one as well. And then you can see that we've got all our green ticks. So as far as a sender, that's all you need to do. If we switch over to being the receiver side of the consignment, I'll just switch profiles within LPA. And you can see that this consignment is in here. It's coming as an incoming. And you can see from the icon and from the new column within eNVD that we've got tags have been added and they're ready for you to review. So if I'm on the LPA profile here, which normally most of you guys will operate with, and I go and have a look at the devices, you can see full visibility of the information that's been added to by the sender, and you can see all the ticks. What it's actually playing back to you at the top here is that for us to do the movement within LIS, you need to switch your profile within LPA to the NLIS one. And if you haven't linked, so that means that you need to link your NLIS and your LPA accounts together within MyMLA. If you don't know that, there's a guide to do that we can push you through, or the comms team have lots of collateral on our website on how to do that. If you stay in this profile, you'll notice that you won't be able to do anything and you won't be able to move these devices onto your PIC. So it's really important that you switch the profile. So to do that, we just go back to this page here, go and select your NLIS profile, and you'll see it underneath the indicator here. And then once you switch that, you'll then notice that you have the opportunity to complete the movement. So if you go down to the bottom and you're okay with everything that's been added, all you need to do is just move on to your PIC, and then it's submitted on the NLIS. So just to reiterate, that's all you need to do. You don't need to log into NLIS. If you want to go in and view that movement again and get some more detail, you can see that the movement is complete within the system. If you want some more details about it, the upload ID for reference, a visual representation of the movement, this is all played back to you, and also a quick link into if you want to log into NLIS.